Former UFC double champion and now commentator Daniel Cormier has expressed doubts about Islam Makhachev potentially retiring from MMA after just 3 more fights. Islam Makhachev is preparing to move up to welterweight, following 4 successful defenses of his UFC lightweight title. He's eager to tackle a fresh challenge at 170 pounds in pursuit of a second world championship. However, securing that belt will be no easy task. Recently, Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendez, hinted that Islam might only have 3 fights left before retiring from the sport. This revelation caught many fans and media members off guard, including Daniel Cormier, who shared his thoughts in a recent video. 3 fights left for Islam? Why? That's concerning to me, Cormier said. Knowing these guys, if someone says he's got 3 fights and he sticks to it, the only silver lining is that Islam hasn't said it himself yet. If Makhachev comes out and says, I've got 3 fights left, we should all pay close attention, because that's a sign it's a critical moment. His reign at 155 has been extraordinary. Why would you step away in your mid-30s when you're dominating the sport? We saw Khabib retire and never look back. That's troubling for us as MMA fans. There are so many fights we still want to see, against Jack Della Maddalena, Kamaru Usman, or even Ilia Topuria. If he walks away after 3 more fights, we're talking about a very short window. It's wild to think about.
What's up, everybody? UFC President Dana White here to talk to you about one of the most badass fight nights of the year, happening live and free on ABC, the network, July 26th from Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. Here we go. In the main event, we have number 5 ranked Robert Whittaker taking on Reinier de Ridder. Whittaker, a former UFC middleweight champion, you all know he's been in some of the best fights in middleweight history, and now intends on being the first guy to beat de Ridder in the UFC. De Ridder is a former middleweight and light heavyweight world champion and has finished everyone he has fought in the UFC. He's coming off a win over the top prospect in the sport, Bo Nickel. If de Ridder can beat Whittaker, it's very likely he'll be fighting for the number 1 contender bout next. I am pumped for this fight because these guys are both killers and they always come out and deliver. In the co-main event, we have another 5-round fight between number 4 ranked Movsar Evloev taking on the guy most people consider to be the top free agent in the world, Aaron Pico. Evloev is undefeated at 19-0 and one of the most intimidating guys at featherweight. Aaron Pico is a ridiculously violent striker and a very high-level grappler. Pico has had hype behind him since he was a teenager because of his skill and fighting style, which people compare him to the likes of Justin Gaethje or Dustin Poirier. If Movsar can get the victory, he will likely be the next contender for the title against Alexander Volkanovski. Expect this fight to be an absolute war. Just added, former UFC champion and number 3 ranked bantamweight in the world, Petr Yan, will be taking on the very explosive Marcus McGee, who earned this fight by going 4-0 in the UFC with 3 finishes and 3 post-fight bonuses. Also, Bryce Mitchell is making a big move down to the bantamweight division and will debut against the always dangerous Saeed Nurmagomedov, the cousin of Khabib. Shara Bullet is back and will fight Marc-Andre Barriault, which should be an incredible matchup. And top-ranked light heavyweight Nikita Krylov puts his 93% finish rate against the 100% finish rate of the absolutely terrifying Bogdan Guskov. Ladies and gentlemen, live and free on ABC, the network, July 26th from Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. I will see you there.
UFC CEO Dana White has guaranteed fans that a clear decision regarding the much-anticipated Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall fight will be made in the next few weeks. White discussed the bout, which continues to be a significant point of irritation for fans, during an interview with Jim Rome. We'll see how this unfolds over the coming weeks, White stated. If we can't secure this fight, we'll proceed quickly. We'll have answers shortly. Jon Jones, the former UFC light heavyweight champion, is broadly recognized as one of the greatest MMA fighters ever. In 2023, after extended postponements, he shifted to heavyweight and seized the vacant title with a rapid win against Cyril Gane. Yet, Jones has been remarkably inactive as heavyweight champion, competing just once since winning the belt, a commanding TKO over a worn-out Stipe Miocic last autumn. Because of Jones's reduced activity, the UFC established an interim heavyweight champion to maintain divisional momentum. Tom Aspinall earned that title with a knockout of Sergey Pavlovich in 2023 and has since been outspoken about merging the heavyweight titles with Jones. Despite his persistence, no headway has been achieved. In fact, Jones has displayed such hesitation that Aspinall defended his interim title with a knockout victory against Curtis Blaydes last year. Exasperated by the extended delay, some fans have theorized that Jones, the former light heavyweight champ, could be cautious about taking on Aspinall. Dana White strongly rejected those assertions. Jon Jones has never shied away from any fight or opponent, he informed Rome. Nevertheless, fans are becoming increasingly tired of the ambiguity, particularly since a conclusion was assured weeks ago. Conor McGregor has been observed aggressively assaulting a man in a nightclub. Despite not fighting in the octagon for nearly 4 years, the Notorious remains a constant presence in the headlines. Every few weeks, the Irishman manages to do something that thrusts him back into the public's attention, but this time, it's for entirely negative reasons. Not long ago, Conor McGregor was making news with his campaign for the presidency in his native Ireland, but those ambitions may prove challenging to realize given the persistent controversies linked to his name. Adding to an extensive list of troublesome incidents he's been involved in during his hiatus from fighting, McGregor made headlines after recently striking a man unconscious in a nightclub. The UFC star was seen socializing with British TV personality Katie Price and Wayne Lineker, the younger brother of former footballer Gary Lineker. The group was photographed in Ibiza prior to the nightclub incident. While positioned on a platform, Conor McGregor was observed conversing with a man and appearing to embrace him in the club, though the situation soon deteriorated. McGregor delivered 2 powerful left punches to the man, causing him to collapse to the floor. The reason behind the altercation remains unclear, but an eyewitness provided a statement following the incident. Obviously, something was said to upset him and he reacted extremely poorly. The man appeared to drop to the ground and his friends rushed to help him up and get him out of there. There didn't seem to be any repercussions for Conor, but the man he struck was escorted away and I didn't see him again. That's it for all the MMA news for today. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching.